From the war rooms of Washington to the strategy tables of Beijing, this is what the world is watching. I am Dr. Brian O. Reuben, and each week we dissect the power plays, policy shifts, and geopolitical risk shaping tomorrow's world. This is clarity for decision makers, bold, unfiltered, and strategic. Welcome.
In the 20th century, wars were fought for oil, land, and ideology. In the 21st century, the new battlefield is quieter, but not less brutal. It is the supply chain. Hi, this is what the world is watching. I'm Brian O. Reuben, and today we follow the new fault lines of power, not through armies, but through arteries of trade. Because when goods stop flowing, power collapses. Let's begin with geography, the oldest weapon in geopolitics. Three straits, one ocean, one empire at a time. The Strait of Hormuz, a narrow slit where 1/5 of the world's oil passes. One missile here and the price of fuel in Lagos, London, and Los Angeles explodes. The Suez Canal, when a single ship that ever given got stuck for 6 days, over 10 billion in trade was lost per day, one vessel, global trade. The Taiwan Strait, not oil this time. Over 60% of the world's advanced semiconductors flow through its 110-mile stretch. Everything from iPhones to fighter jets goes dark if this lifeline is cut. Control the straits, control the states. Now, let's talk semiconductors, the oil of the digital age. Taiwan's TSMC makes the world's most advanced chips. The US and China are caught in a silicon standoff. Washington's chip act is pouring billions into domestic production. Export controls are choking China's access to top-tier chip technology, and NVIDIA's processors are being treated like uranium. Make no mistakes about it, this isn't tech policy. This is techno-dominance, or as I put it sometimes, techno-sovereignty. Because in a world driven by data, whoever controls the chips controls the future. And then, China's quiet conquest, the Belt and Road Initiative. They are not building tanks, they are building terminals. Poles in Sri Lanka, railroads in Kenya, pipelines in Central Asia. This is strategic lending disguised as infrastructure aid. Take Hambantotte's port in Sri Lanka, funded by Chinese credit. The faulted, then leads back to China for 99 years. This isn't charity, it is a spider web of dependency. Now let's turn to the West. After COVID-19 exposed the fragility of global logistics, from face masks to pharmaceuticals, the US, Japan, and Europe began a frantic scramble. Reshoring, friendshoring, decoupling, these are not buzzwords, they are lifeboats. Japan is paying companies to leave China. The United States is stockpiling lithium and rare earth minerals. India and Vietnam are being groomed as alternative supply nodes. Because when your ventilators depend on one country, you don't have a strategy, you have a supply chain hostage crisis. And here is the geopolitical twist. Trade rules, they are not made in Geneva any longer, they are made in Silicon Valley, Shenzhen, and the halls of Congress. The WTO is sidelined. Global trade isn't governed, it is weaponized. Sanctions, tariffs, blacklists. There is no free trade. There is strategic trade. And what about Africa, South America, and South Asia? They are not participants. They are pressure points put between Washington's ships and Beijing's cranes. Here is the brutal truth. In today's world, you don't need to invade a country to control it. You just need to control what keeps the factories running, its hospitals stocked, and its citizens connected. This is the age of infrastructural dominance. So what should the world be watching? Watch where paths are leased, not just where treaties are signed. Watch who builds your 5G, not just who votes at the UN. Watch how cargo delays now signal diplomatic warnings. Because this isn't just about goods. It's about how power flows in containers, in ships, and in the contrast few ever read but must obey. I'm Reuben, and this is what the world is watching, where headlines aren't the end of the story, but the start of clarity. And we'll see you again next week, where supply meets strategy and silence is replaced by signal.